What's up guys, welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 3, and we are on the challenges here, and the next one is Katsuyama Containment. Now I have done the Shishimon Safari, the previous video was there, but for some reason it's not ticking it off as done, but that's not a real issue. Of course we are going to be doing this on Jurassic difficulty, and our par time will be 2.5 hours. We've got wild dinosaurs, we've got all geomes unlocked, marketplace is disabled, limited fence placement, and natural enclosures are encouraged. So let's get straight into this.
You know what I think of when I see dangerous dinosaurs running around like this? How soon can I get high security fences between me and them? Of course, what I want and reality don't often line up. And getting the best fences here won't be easy. One way or another, we need to contain these dinosaurs and then keep them happy so they stay contained. I really, really want them to stay contained.
Okay guys, so I'm not going to lie here, I have had a go. This is mighty frustrating park. It's riddled with diseases, dinosaurs constantly escape, and food sources constantly get infected. So the first thing I'm going to do guys is I'm going to spend a couple of minutes just flattening down the island, making it more accessible to work with. You do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of dinosaurs already on the island, which does make it a bit easier. But you do have very little in the way of fences to work with. So you kind of need to build natural areas. So we'll probably build a natural sort of area here. Another easy one is here and here. So that's 1, 2, 3 sort of enclosures. You can then kind of do another one here, here. You know, cut off all the corners and make them sort of into natural habitats. But also guys, you need to focus on the fact that because you need 16 different types of dinosaurs, not all of them are going to cohabitate. So that's also something you've got to think about, you know, what dinosaurs will share and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm going to do guys is just spend 5 minutes just flattening down the land. Okay, so with it flattened almost, it gives you a bit more of a natural way of working. It might not be perfectly flat, I'm not saying it is perfectly flat, but it's given us an easier way to work with the land, and it also kind of gives us an easier you can see what's been done a lot easier in regards to where you're going to kind of put your natural barriers. And like I said, it's not perfectly flat. I'm not going to say it is perfectly flat. So I've deleted everything. We are going to start sorting out where we're going to put our natural enclosures. So let's start with now raising the terrain. And we're going to use it like not too big in regards to like we're not going too wide, because we do need to be using the space as well. So we're going to start. That's going to be our first natural enclosure there. And then you're going to want to again kind of flatten it, so where you've got you need, of course, an entryway for your employees to get in. So we're smoothing it off. You can roughen it and make it higher, but what you want to see is a natural sort of enclosure there, so that you can put fences between, because you really don't have a lot of fence to play with. So you're going to see your first, let's press play now. So we're going to see our first fence there, and of course if you go above you can see that's where your natural enclosure is going to be. And if you want a gate, and you're going to need some sort of viewing gallery. So that's going to give you your first natural enclosure there. Again, pause it and look at what you're going to do with scenery now. And why I'm saying scenery is because what you're going to find is that these dinosaurs will escape too. So you kind of want to use rocks to just fill in the gaps around the edge like that. And then again you can roughen the terrain just a little bit, just to kind of give it a bit more of a natural look. If you want to, you don't need to. This is completely your choice. The higher the better, I suppose, as well, because it makes it a lot more difficult for the dinos to escape. So that's going to be our first natural enclosure there, and it's already got our two first dinosaurs. You will have to tranquilize them to get them going. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our arrival point here. Let's move that. So it's let's go there with our arrival point. And then we've got our next dinosaurs here. That's quite a big area we're going to give them there, so we don't really necessarily want to be giving them that much area. Because they really won't need that much area. My guess is that we've got some dinos either side, so that's why that's struggling a little bit. So what we'll do is we will then flatten our terrain again through the middle. That will give you your entrance and exit for paleomedical teams and stuff like that. Boom. Enclosure. Let's just flatten that a little bit more. gate. And a viewing gallery. Okay, cool. And then scenery, let's put rocks again. Help us naturally stop the dinos from getting out of these fences, because they will. Trust me, they will. Okay, so let's just press play for a minute.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available
So we're going to
personnel,
start there.
respond. Ladies and gentlemen.
So we need to then be putting some operations. So first off, let's get a response facility. And we kind of want to use it around the edge of the park, I'd guess. Let's get a paleo medical facility. 2. Put that one. Control center. Science center.
Attention all science personnel. Please report to the newly opened Science Center.
Not quite how I wanted it to look perfectly, but actually let's move that. If we straighten that up a little bit, I think I'm going to be pretty happy there. Yeah, that's better. Right. So, the first thing we will then have to do is capture team. Let's direct control. So we're going to go and make sure that these are tranquilized. So they are here somewhere.
Changing orientation.
Stop. Oh my god, stop missing.
Asset in range.
That's one.
Hey, the park's rating went up. I assume that's down to your brilliant work and my potent management style. Congrats to both of us.
Where's the other?
Visual on the asset.
Right, okay. So, they're now sedated. They will be fine. They'll be fine. We'll sort them out in a minute. We've now got a total dinosaur species of 1 and non-herbivores of 2. We're going to go over to our next bit of natural. We will have to sedate these again, even though they are already in the enclosure.
Shot off target.
We're getting reports that some of the animals are experiencing heightened levels of stress. If the dinosaurs are on edge, it's only a matter of time until our guests are too. Let's get this under control.
What guests?
Asset identified.
Three.
Contact confirmed.
4. One more.
Pulling round.
Fifth one is.
ID on the asset.
Is.
Range of the asset.
Is, there it is.
Is confirmed. Moving accordingly.
Oh, for God's sake, get out of the. Can't see it. There it is.
Asset identified.
Got ya. Right. Got ya. Painful. Painful beings. Right, let's get some power over there. Right, and then the next thing we want to make sure is we've got maintenance going on. So let's get maintenance here. And here. And there. And we haven't got a maintenance team in, so let's get the maintenance facility in as well. Cool. Right. Add task.
Patrol underway. It's on the to-do list. Keep an eye out for work.
And then let's get Ranger Post in, so that we can now start seeing what our dinos are doing.
Area being patrolled. Patrol underway. Be there soon. Filling it up.
Let's open the park.
Attention personnel.
Okay,
The park
right.
is opening and guests will be arriving shortly.
So a restroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for
And
whenever
emergency
nature
shelter.
calls.
To begin with. See what we've got going on here. Just trying to get them comfortable before they wake up. Okay, so not enough space first, but that'd be fine. Deep water, pasture. And then wetland. Right, so we're going to get these woken up. Just want to kind of... Soften that terrain around there like that. That common cold should go in a moment, as soon as it starts exploring the area. We should.
The dinosaurs are really no different from us
too
when it
much
comes
of
to
an
their
issue.
emotional states. Comfortable dinosaurs are content dinosaurs, and content dinosaurs are more likely to thrive.
Okay, so that's them happy. They'll clear up naturally. Let's get these woken up. And then we can start seeing what these need. So let's get some grassland in. And they also like a little bit of deep water too. So once they start exploring that, we should have it pretty good. Right, so that gives us our first dinos into the area. Let's look at our next bit of environment. What is wrong with them? They've got flu. So, scientists. Let's hire a few scientists. For now, and then let's get some research. Let's get tuberculosis done. Now I know we've got path missing there as well, so we're going to start with that. Okay. So we now know we've got our next bit of area down here, and again, let's flatten the land a little bit. Through the middle there. And that gives us the opportunity then to put our next bit of fence in. Across the middle like that. A gate.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
And then let's get... Let's get some medium amenities researched. Let's get a hotel in.
Gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the...
So we've got like the opportunity here, and then if we can maybe put another enclosure kind of here, so that gives us 1, 2, and then potentially another one. We'll see. See what we can do there. But for now, what we need to be doing is making a bit of profit. So the only way we're going to make profit, of course, is by getting some amenities in. So let's get our first one in. Let's go over here for now. And that should make us a bit of profit. So let's go and see which dino we've got next. And of course, let's try and take a picture of these because this will give us a little bit of money too. So we've got okay, so we've got some Troodons and Eutanaris. So let's go. Now, Troodon.
ID on the asset.
Oh, stimulants. How do we, tram, drink. Now I've lost them. So we've got 2 Troodons, 1, 2. This one is
Shot off target.
different.
Feathered Tyrant. Eutyrannus. Now this Tyrannosaur ruffled a few feathers when it was first discovered. The overwhelming reaction was excitement though. Just as I'm excited to see this animal in person now. It's amazing.
Right, let's see what else we've got. Oh, they're all over here. Look. Oh, they're so far apart. Why are they so far apart?
Just in position. In range of the asset. Weather conditions normalizing.
So let's. Right, how big is that area? It's quite a big area. So, what do we actually want to put in there? Oh god, there's a maintenance post right in the middle.
Confirming task.
But what I'm thinking here is, if we flatten the terrain here like that, then have the ability then to have two enclosures like that there. And then go with some scenery. Okay, right. So what have we got? We've got Trudon, Trudon, oh, that's a different one again. So move the Trudons into there.
En route to pick up the asset.
That dude into
Heading to pick up the
there.
asset.
We're gonna have to find more animals and quick, because they're gonna get really upset the fact that they are populated.
Into the asset.
So that one's sedated. Something else here as well. See it? If I can see it. And like, there it is. There it is.
ID on the asset. Reporting a miss. Controls reassigned.
So let's move Trudon in with the other Trudons.
Asset delivered.
And move
Transportation complete.
that one into there.
Asset to be collected.
Right, let's get
Delivery has been completed. Understood. Added task. Asset in transit.
Have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel,
Asset has
please
been
respond.
collected.
have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Right, we need these to be checked pretty quickly so we can see what's wrong with each one. So it's missing a bit of prey and a bit of shallow water. So let's get some shallow water in. And a bit of prey. And they should be pretty happy.
Delivery complete. Asset has been transported.
You just earned us a star, but what, are you expecting a compliment? Because you should be. You're fantastic.
Out on patrol.
So we've got some status checks going on here now, so let's have a look. So missing a bit of shallow water and a bit of prey. Okay, cool. So nice and easy there. Let's get some more research done. So let's have a look at what other medicine can be researched. That one. Because these do get very sickly. So that's waking up in 20 seconds, but it's actually part of our thingy now. So capture team, direct control. Let's see if we can sedate a few more dinos. Let's see what it actually is. Oh, okay, it's another one of them.
In range of the asset. Stop. Turn in progress.
Another one should be. Ah, is this another Trudon? Cool.
Reassigning role.
So that then can get transported over to there.
Heading to pick up the asset.
And I think that is a Trudon. Okay, it's not, it's another one of them.
Asset transportation in progress.
Ladies and gentlemen, our
Let's get
restroom
an
is now
emergency
open
shelter
to
over here
use
as
for
well.
whenever.
Beautiful. Right. So let's now get these right. Okay, so they're now right. That's good. Got another Dino over there. Trudons. They just don't have enough adult population, so there must be one. Yeah, it's all the way over there. Look. Oh, there must be just one Trudon knocking about somewhere. Okay, right. Next, we'll go with, let's get our next environment sorted so that we can finish doing what we're doing over here. Natural habitat sort of there. Right, I think now we need to start looking at some research. So let's get wide paths. Seems a bit of a big area here to kind of waste. Oh, okay, so creature there. As soon as we can, we will get that medication research. That's going to be our next thing. So we're going to have little pockets. So we're going to have we'll put some more shops over this side as well, and probably another hotel. Now what I want to do, guys, is make sure that these are working. You know, these are not just like dinos are going to get straight out and cause me issues. Right, we need to research medicine, avian pox. Let's get straight on with that. Gate and
We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
So we'll tranquilize that one, because those two are the same and they can get moved into there.
Heading to pick up the asset. Asset has been collected.
Ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Confirming task. Acknowledging asset collection request. Confirmed. Delivery has been completed. Commencing asset transit.
So there's only one dino left out there in the wild. So let's see if we can get that one done and in. I can only imagine that is going to be a true one. Oh, it's not.
Exit
Okay.
acknowledged. Swinging round. Holding
Acknowledging asset collection request. Confirmed.
Right, we need to get them checked pretty sharpish so that we can get them right before they become an issue.
Asset in transit.
Don't light up the naked.
Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Right, we need this status check. And once this status check is done, we'll make a little save. Because we are then, how far are we in? We are 42 minutes in. We've now got these dinos in currently.
Asset has been transported.
Oh, just shallow water, that's all that was missing. Right, sorted. So they're in. They're all happy. They seem to be lacking one. So where is the final Trudon? Because surely they didn't just put, like, not enough in. Right. So let's focus on now. Let's get another hotel.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park.
Then we can go with, let's get shopping. Drinks and food. Everything covered by maintenance.
Acknowledged.
Cool. Right, let's now make sure our research is doing well. So no medicine can be researched. Enclosures. Let's go for ground nests. And let's make sure we make a little save. Okay, so let's now carry on. So these will get busier, obviously, as people come into the park. So don't worry that they're making a slight sort of like loss at the minute. They will pick up. Okay, good stuff. Right, so they will make a profit. Definitely. So they're only
Creation is an
92%
act of
happy.
sheer will. I don't know where I heard that from, but it really stuck with me.
So we're going to start now, like I said, looking at research. We're not going to do that for a minute. Operations. Let's get a staff centre. And then we're also going to start now looking further and at starting getting new species in. Oh, that was power, wasn't it? Idiot. That was power. Ah, yeah, now we've got a dinosaur threat, so we need to fix that
Available personnel,
very
please
quickly.
respond.
Dinosaur threat should go away pretty quick, I'd imagine. Next fence. Like that. Scenery. So let's put a gate there. Like that. We're not too worried about the path at the minute. Let's now also keep looking at research. So let's go for attractions. Let's go for tours, and we can then start getting like a balloon ride in. And then enclosures, we've got a good bit of money now, so let's get a hatchery. Now guys, if you've known anything about Jurassic World, you know that actually you don't necessarily need to have a hatchery connected to an enclosure. Let's get some replacements on these. Get these paths a bit wider. Allow more people.
ladies.
Okay.
Gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
So we've now got another enclosure there. So I think we should start synthesizing some sort of new dinosaur. Now we need to be going with, although we need to be going with carnivores and stuff like that, and everything that kind of goes with the fact that we need non-herbivores, so we can go with like nests and stuff like that and hope that things will kind of breed and help us with that. Trudon. You can, don't lie to me. So I think the Trudons would be a good one to breed. They've got quite a large area, so let's see if they'll
I trust
breed.
you have the skills and expertise to handle this task.
Are they large dinosaurs? So yeah, I think for now we should get some carnivores in. They want 3 at least, right? So we're gonna have to go with that for now. Let's get a staff centre because we're gonna then have to rest our staff. So it wasn't wrong when I said this is a very sickly game, everyone. All the dinosaurs seem to get very sickly very quickly. So do you know what? Let's hire 3 more scientists. We've got a good one there for logistics. A good one there for welfare. And a good one there. Yeah, let's go with him. So what else should we and can we research? Let's go for upgrades. Let's get them resting. So these are definitely now making a good bit of profit. And we can now release them via airlift.
Many
and
natural
this is going
systems
to be
fall
their
into
new-
some sort of hierarchy, and dinosaur behavior is no different. The alpha should be easy enough to identify from observation alone.
Again, that's going to be their new enclosure.
Understood. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Dimetrodon to the park.
I'm going to put a second medical facility.
In transit.
Let's get that researched.
When we talk about eye-catching species, the Dimetrodon and its remarkable spine cell is gonna be near the top. Some animals need your attention. This one demands it.
So we're currently up to 6 dinosaur species, and we're up to 18 out of the 40. We've got another storm, so let's get all shelters open. Storms are something that happens very frequently in this park, and it's very annoying because you're going to get loads of stuff destroyed. I mean, we're not using a lot of fences, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Asset has been
Let's balloon tour. Oh, what is that? Oh, must be something I downloaded. Oh, that looks good. So we're going to make sure it flies over pretty much everything that we've already introduced. No matter how.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys, and marvel at the sights with our newly opened
Right. Research. Let's go back to medicine. We don't need to research anything there at the minute. So let's go back to this. So they're missing. Arid. And a bit of deep water. Meat. How can they still be missing deep water when there's loads of it? You just got to look over here, really, guys. Let's just soften that terrain a little bit there. Okay, right. Let's hope that when these new ones come in, they also...
collect the asset. Collecting asset.
let's keep moving our path forward. Carving our way through the park where we can make more decisions about where we go in.
Assets in the air.
And how we're going to make our park look.
Transportation complete. Transit has commenced.
Right, let's do that, because what I'm thinking then is that we can have the viewing galleries that go under and into, if you know what I mean. So we're only putting a gate. Oh, we've got a dead dinosaur. Oh.
Asset collection request received.
So we've got a male Spinosaurus. We're going to need a female Spinosaurus, I think, now.
Delivery has been completed.
Insufficient skill level. So we need scientists. Let's train in genetics. Train genetics. Train genetics.
Transportation up. Welcome your new.
Okay, so let's carry on doing what we were doing. And this one we're going to just go with, like I said, a gate.
Delivery complete. Asset transportation underway.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond. Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
It's on the to-do list.
Okay, right. Let's go back to research. Enclosures. Let's get some medium electric fences done. So apparently they're missing deep water again. Are you joking?
pleased to welcome a Utyrannus to the park.
The Spinosaurus is actually quite happy by himself anyway, so for now we'll leave the Spinosaurus and we'll go with something new. Baryonyx, they're quite a decent field size one, but let's have a look at the enclosure size. Yeah, actually I think that would probably be okay. Oh, have we got some? Ah, right, hold on. They want meat. Can't be missing meat now. I've just put it. Oh, I've just put a. I didn't put a light up. Put a thingy in, didn't I? With a live prey feeder. So, select eggs. Let's have one male, a couple of females. Okay, right, so they're going to go into there. So, we're going to make sure that that's ready to accept them.
Additional task.
We'll get on it.
And then attractions, we're going to go with this one. That right, cool.
We have added a new viewing gallery.
So then we've got another natural sort of shaped one here. Couple to do round there. You know, we've got a room then for more shops, hotels, and stuff along here. Let's quickly make sure that doesn't get affected. There. So let's release them into their new enclosure over here. So we're now up to 26 out of 48. We are an hour and 7 minutes in. So 7 different dinosaur species, and 26 out of the 48 non-herbivores.
You're doing great work here, my paleo curation protege. Keep it up.
So those food amenities are full. They're full as well. Wow, okay. So let's go with a few more. Projected guests, that's it. Of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome Asuka Mimas to the park.
Transit has commenced. Transportation complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome Asuka Mimas to the park.
Okay, so we've got one dinosaur that's
Transporting asset.
danger to guests. Why? It's not anymore. Good. Good. Right, let's see what we've got comfort issues wise. So, they'd like a bit of arid. A bit of wetland. And a lot of deep water.
Delivery complete.
We've got a sick animal, and no one wants to see that. You know what I do want to see, though? You getting that animal the right treatment.
So, like I said, all of a sudden, guys, you tend to get loads of just loads of people, loads of dinos ill instantly.
Controls retaken.
Okay, so we've now got rabies on the site, but we should get that sorted pretty sharpish.
It's so easy to forget about the threat of disease when you're staring at giant teeth all day. But it's there, and it's just as scary. Glad we're doing the research to help with that.
So we're going to keep, every time one of them comes up, we're going to keep sorting that out. So that's going to now give us yet access to another enclosure. So let's see. Oh.
Asset reported.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Utyrannus to the park.
Right, so let's now look at some. See, these little dudes will go with pretty much everything. So let's get some of them in.
Synthesis procedure complete. Incubation personnel.
See you guys soon. Not a problem. Add it to the list. We'll get on it.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
Not too worried about that at the minute. Right, let's release them, and they will pretty much, like I said, go with anything. So let's put them with these guys here. Back. Let's. So we're up to 34 out of 48 non-herbivores and 8 out of 16 now. Let's get our scientists rested. Ready for the next phase. Shall we put a monorail in? We haven't even researched it, so the answer's no.
We are pleased to welcome the Coelophysis to the party.
The store.
Transportation underway. Asset delivery confirmed.
Right. So as soon as our scientists are rested and good to go again, we will get some more. Let's have a look at our game time. We've got about an hour and 10 minutes left, guys. We're over halfway with pretty much everything now. So let's
One
get
of our
these
juveniles
rested.
has been injured. An animal in pain is more likely to lash out, and that's the last thing we want.
Commencing asset
38
transit.
seconds and we're rested.
Asset delivered.
And we can start all over again then. And do you know what? We've got 10 million, so let's get another scientist. Oh, that's a good logistics one. Good, right. Now we're fully equipped to the scientists. Let's go back. Let's get this one done. Female. Oh, 3 million. 3.5 minutes, right. So that'll take us up to 35. And then, do you know what, guys? We could probably... Oh, let's look at research. Get some research done for a minute. So what are they missing? They're missing meat.
Asset has been collected.
Nice and easy, sorted. Right, what's next? What's going to be our next one to look at? Probably them. But do you know what? Also, those will integrate with most things as well. So we'll do some of them.
Confirming asset delivery.
So let's also look at medicine again. Let's get these inoculations sorted. Okay, so that's most of the research done for that. Operations, let's go. Oh, they're too. Can't do that quite yet. Can do that though, so let's get that.
Asset transportation complete.
Now, yes, of course, we need to be looking at non-herbivores, but it doesn't mean that we can't have herbivores in as well. So I think we should make quite a large kind of enclosure. Potentially over here. And we could put 5, 6 different types of herbivores in there. That's going to really help boost our appeal, our guests. And let's face it, herbivores don't really cause much of an issue in regards to attacking people either. So maybe not a huge amount. We're not making a huge area here, but enough that we can to be fair guys as well, having herbivores in, we don't need to focus on that so much. Oh, we've got a new medication available as well, so we'll get that researched. So research medication. Right, let's get this guy released over here.
Asset collection request.
So that's 35 out of 48.
There was a time that I put career progression above all else, you know. You have a bright future ahead of you, but don't forget why you're doing it.
Okay, right. So that will help us with our species. So now let's focus on getting some.
Assets in the air.
Let's get some herbivores in. So we know that Ankylosaurus would go with... what would they go with? So they'd go with them. And also we'll get some of little dudes in. I think if we now focus on maybe herbivores, but also get just some of the little dudes that go in with other carnivores, we're limiting the amount of carnivores in the park. But also, in turn, increasing the amount of carnivores in the park. If you get what I mean.
Delivery has been completed.
Gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Request acknowledged.
So that will take us up to 9 species. 10 species. Ah, we can't quite do that one quite yet. We're only 40 seconds away. And then we build a new area here for food and drinks, toilet, shelter, whatnot. Why would you be missing deep water? Fine before. Okay, so let's put them over here.
Request received.
So that takes us to 39 out of 48. And 9 species.
We are pleased to welcome a Moros Intrepidus to the park.
Understood. Asset transportation in progress.
releasing, activating. All good up here. We need to drive another couple of hundred people into the park, couple thousand people
The
into
Moros
park.
Intrepidus. The word Moros comes from the ancient Greek spirit of impending doom. Rather morbid, I know, but it does paint a picture of what being confronted by this animal might feel like. I'm sure under your guidance, this dinosaur will prove a much cheerier addition to the site.
Let's research. I think we're going to have to research monorail. I think we're just going to have to get that done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased.
So that we've got some sort of transport and people are actually being moved. Okay, so let's. We can't release them quite yet until the last one of them have gone. But that's going to take us up to 10. And you know what? We could probably just do with a few more of those little dudes. If we have them, they're not going to cause too much of an issue. I reckon another 5 of them. That's going to take us up to 44. Yeah, be good. And let's get monorails in now.
Paleo curation is as much about our guests as it is the dinosaurs. Okay, maybe not as much, but we still need to build this place with them in mind.
Right, so. Station.
Asset transportation underway.
Do a station.
Asset transported.
Come on.
Attention personnel. A new monorail station has opened and guests will be arriving shortly.
Not really very exciting, but hey. Right, release via airlift into its new enclosure. Here. And then let's get some more. Let's see what they'll go. They'll go with scavengers. So let's make it easy on ourselves, and let's do some more of them. That will just rapidly increase the amount of dinosaurs being in the park.
Asset in transit.
Water. There's definitely water in the park in this enclosure, so. And then we'll put them.
En route to pick up the asset. Acknowledged.
So that takes us up to 45. Now let's get some more. What would that go with? Sauropods, hadrosaurid. would go with Ankylosaurid. That won't go with... So I'm just trying to think of different herbivores that will go together. So that will take us up to 11.
Asset transportation in progress.
Let's get our next monorail station.
Asset delivered.
Yeah.
Letting the dinosaurs fight allows them to display and regulate their natural instincts. I don't like seeing it, but I recognize the need for it.
New asset ID. No problem. Heads up, got a new asset. Reporting a new asset.
Now, has that got a habitation issue because it's got... Oh, okay. That's just an aggressive one. Right, okay, so it's nothing to do with...
We are pleased to welcome Silver Prices to the park.
En route to pick up the asset.
Okay, so we'll get some more of them in.
Asset delivered.
So that's missing. Tall leaf and ground fruit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Coelophysis to the park.
Commencing asset transit. No problem. Been added to the list.
Okay.
Asset being transported. Asset transported.
So what we'll do is we'll get a few more of them as well, and that will just probably boost us up just enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Coelophysis to the park.
Asset transportation in progress.
Any ecology is made up of an uncountable number of tiny interactions. Everything matters to something else. In our case, this next objective matters to me. Could you take it on?
Acknowledging
You ever heard of a keystone species? It's one that has a disproportionate impact on their ecosystem compared to other organisms. You, my friend, are this company's keystone species.
We are pleased to welcome a Pachycephalosaurus.
So let's make sure we've got none with the aggressive trait. That's good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our scientists just to rest again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome
Got the dinosaur.
transportation underway. Delivery complete.
Ah, the park rating has gone up, and so have my expectations of you. Overachieving is a double-edged sword, my successful compadre.
Asset has been delivered.
We are pleased to welcome a Pachycephalosaurus.
Transit has commenced.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Pachycephalosaurus to the park.
Okay, right.
Transportation underway. Asset has
So,
been delivered.
species-wise, we're up to 11.
Heading to pick up the asset.
And we're up to 46 out of 48. So, let's now look at more. So what will that go with? That would go with sauropods, hadrosaurid. What about them? What would they go with? Okay, they'd go with, yeah, they'd pretty much go with every, oh. Go with anything. So, they'll be one to look at next.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Moros Intrepidus to the park.
Wow, they're almost. They've only just been rested because of that last thing. Time-wise, what we are, we've got 45 minutes. We need to get a few more species in. We need to get a lot more people into the park, though. How are we going to get more people into this park?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Moros Intrepidus to the park.
Asset delivery confirmed. Asset transportation underway.
We are pleased to welcome a morose intrepidus to the park.
I'm on it. Commencing asset transit. Confirming asset delivered.
We've increased the hotel capacity of the park. Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Okay, right, so that's now boosted that. Get them in and then get them rested. So we're up to 3,300. This is like the critical sort of moments now.
Asset has been delivered.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing platform, ready for you to gain an elevated view of our wonderful dinosaurs.
Adding task.
3,388.
Synthesis procedure complete. Incubation personnel.
So they'll pretty much go with everything as well, which is
Asset
really
collection
good.
request received. Collecting asset.
So we've now got the 48 out of 48 non-herbivore dinosaurs. Total species are up to 12 out of 16, so we're getting there. So let's get some of them in.
Asset being
Because I
transported.
think we've still actually got an enclosure over there that's not.
Ladies and
Asset has
gentlemen,
been
we are
transported.
pleased to welcome an
Assets in
Oviraptor
the
to
air.
the park.
Actually being used at the minute.
Transportation complete.
Yeah, there's nothing in there, so they can go into there.
Asset has been collected.
Okay, who's a dinosaur threat and why?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an
Corn
Asset
fishes, let's
transportation
see,
in
some
progress.
missing. Meat.
Delivery complete. Asset transportation complete.
There's a fence broken. So let's go with our new enclosure over here.
Asset collection request received.
So we're now up to 13 out of 16.
We are pleased to welcome a Dino-Kyrus to the park. Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing tower, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Asset has been collected. Adding additional task.
Why is this one in particular a threat?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Dino-Kyrus to the park.
Struthomyces, they'll go with anything as well, so let's get some of them in. All of 4 seconds that's going to take.
Synthesis proceed.
We're going to need to make some more of them.
Transit has commenced. Collecting asset. Asset requiring collection.
Okay, so we're now up to 14. The people in the park is now going to be our major target here. How do we get more people in the park? Why is this one dude?
Struthiomimus to the park.
A threat to people? Why is that one?
Commencing asset transit.
A threat to people. Where did that go? Let's see why this one thing
Asset has been transported.
would be a danger.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome the Struthiomimus to the park.
Probably because of this tiny little gap here. And the fact that it is
Asset
also
transportation in progress.
semi-carnivore. Okay, right. So 3,500 people. How do we push to get 5,000 people?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome the Struthiomimus to the park.
Collecting asset. Acknowledging asset collection request.
So let's go for some of them. They've got quite a high appeal. That's what we need to be drawing in appeal. They like a lot of water.
Confirming asset delivery.
are pleased to welcome a Struthiomimus.
So what if we do something like...
Asset being transported.
So let's look at getting more amenities. So we've got drink, food, and gifts.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Asset
we
has
are
been
pleased to
delivered.
welcome a Struthiomimus to the park.
Transportation underway.
Okay, right, so we're now up to 3,500. We just haven't increased. We just haven't increased.
Asset in
Our
transit.
guests, that's all. We're just not increasing the guests. So what I'm thinking is, what if we do... something like a gyro station.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Struthiomimus to the park.
Asset delivered.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Struthiomimus to the park.
Confirming asset delivery. Commencing asset transit.
So what if we do something like
Ride of a
that?
lifetime at our gyrosphere attraction.
Just trying to get more people into the park. Right, will they release into anything else? Or we were just playing with fire there. So we should possibly make a new enclosure. Okay, so let's get them released into an enclosure over here.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
So that takes us up to 15 out of 16.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Deinonychus to the park.
Oh, will you just do? Will you just do as you are requested, please?
I'm on it. Transit has commenced. Patrolling the route. Being added to the list.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Deinonychus to the park.
Asset transportation in progress.
Let's go for him now.
Asset delivery.
And let's quite large. Enclosure for these dudes.
Delivery has been completed.
Right, so hopefully that should be a decent sort of size closure for them. They are going to probably be a bit of a nightmare for me. What I want to do actually is put a thingy on this one as well. An actual...
Confirming asset delivery.
An actual viewing gallery. Why have we got so many dinosaurs that are a threat? None of them have actually got out, but they're saying they're a threat. So what we're going to do is just, again, make sure that our environment is spot on. It might be just that little area there is causing a little bit of trouble. See that causing trouble as well. So hopefully that will neutralise the threat. Can't really see them being much of a threat, but what they're at, with them actually being a threat has really made the park empty. Oh, we have got a threat over here. We have got one.
New objective received.
So they like a lot of wetland. A lot of wetland. And, of course, meat. So let's get him back into there. So we've got just over a minute now. So 15 minutes we've got left here to really try and push this. View escaped as well. What is wrong with these? There's always one that just wants to cause trouble.
Asset transportation complete. Asset being transported.
So this is going to be our 16 out of 16.
Heading to collect the asset.
So now let's just make sure that we are not causing ourselves trouble here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Where's all the land
we are
gone?
pleased to welcome an Albertosaurus to the park.
Delivery complete.
Bloody hell happened there?
Asset has been collected.
Well, no wonder they've been getting out. Right. We need final push here, guys. So let's look at research and let's have a look at maybe some lagoons and see if that will help us get the last push on guests. Because we just can't seem to get that last push, which is really frustrating. Because I think the park is really good.
We are
We just can't get these guests in.
Asset in transit. Area in patrol.
3,900. Ah, come on. Oh, 4,989. 4,989. time-wise, we've got 10 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Seeing your hard work here has really warmed my heart. Not as much as seeing the company's bank account recently, but almost. Well done.
So changing up to main thoroughfare has really helped. So logistics master, 2 hours and 21 minutes. These seem to be getting rarer and rarer, these two. So yeah, we'll give it one final look over. The next one, guys, will be San Albertus Island on Jurassic difficulty. So it's not an overly complicated park. It's just a lot of work landscaping and getting these natural barriers and separations up. But other than that, guys, yeah, I'm really happy with the way this park's turned out. Cosmetically, I feel looks really good. And we've got those 5,000 guests in the park. So guys, thank you very much for being here with me. Catch me next time when, like I said, we'll be at San Albertus Park. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.